John, I did it. I made a digital twin of myself.
Oh no. What did you...
It's perfect. Same height, same attitude, same terrible posture. There's only one problem.
I'm afraid to ask.
It keeps making better life choices than me. My digital twin has meditated twice today and apparently already ate a balanced lunch. I'm eating a Pop-Tart.
That's not a digital twin, Sean. That's just an app shaming you.
Well, the app says it loves me and it believes in my potential. So at this point, it's basically my therapist.
Okay, let's start the show.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of the Jon Teaches Sean About His Brain podcast. Today, we're diving into something that sounds like science fiction, but is actually becoming a huge part of how the world works: digital twins. Now, before John jumps in and explains the actual neuroscience, let me set the stage. Digital twins are basically super detailed digital replicas of real things: machines, cities, job sites, and now people. So we talked in the last episode about our brain's power of prediction and how every time we predict what's about to happen, or even avoid something risky, just walk through a familiar place, we're actually running a mental simulation. And so in this episode, we're going to explore how digital twins work, why industries are obsessed with them, and how they connect to human behavior, and what it actually means for the way we learn and operate in the real world. Also, at some point, I'm definitely going to ask whether my digital twin would make better decisions than I do, and I have a feeling the answer is yes. Let's get into it. Hi, John. It's good to see you.
Great seeing you, Sean.
Okay, so listen, John, pretend I'm a very confused clone right now, okay? So what exactly is a digital twin?
And you're talking about a person's digital twin. So it's this idea that you can create a version of a person using their own measurements from them, like their heart rate, their thinking. Usually they'll to have your digital twin created, they'll put you through an MRI to look at your brain structure. They'll measure activity from your brain, and then all of that's digitized and put into a computer program. And then it gets live feeds. So they'll show you pictures and see how your brain responds to pictures and to different things. And eventually, after several hours of recording and trying different things, having you speak, having you listen, watch, hear, all of those things, this system has learned to some degree how your brain behaves, how it reacts to things and how it behaves. And then once they have that, once a group like a research group or a medical group has that information, then they can use that information as like a model to try different things to see how you would react in certain situations, or what your choices would be, or how you would decide things. So that's not a very detailed answer for you. And part of the reasons because I don't have the best grasp of it. I've read about it and I have a fairly good understanding, but I've never been a part of seeing what all of this, what it does and what it is.
But so I want to create a digital twin of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm assuming this is through medicine, or is it science, or both? Like, where do I go for that?
I think now it's mostly research. And
okay.
In fact, I think if you go to Stanford University, you'd have your best. That'd be a great place to start if you wanted a digital clone.
Oh, I don't think they let me anywhere near that place, even as a test subject. But so fine. I go to Stanford, and so they put me in the fMRI or
well,
MRI.
The MRI
and that
machine. Hmm.
and that takes a body scan.
Yeah, of you, but they will take the scan of your brain.
Oh, okay.
So
So
they
it,
want to see, because everybody's brain is similar but different. It's like
mhm,
fingers are similar, but the fingerprint is different for everybody. So when we've talked about, we've talked about different parts of the brain on the show. So your frontal lobe and or let's say Broca's area, in
mhm.
your left
Speech.
hemisphere, it might be back and up a little bit compared to what another person's is. So they want
Oh,
to take an MRI to get the structure of your brain, the size of it, where it's at, and then they want to put electrodes on your head and have you speak, have you listen, have you watch, and all of those measurements then help them create your digital brain, your clone, your digital self, so that
okay.
it has its brain structure and function is like yours.
Okay, so I go to Stanford, I get the MRI. Now I'm assuming like in a computer, they have a digital image of my brain
Yeah, from the MRI, yes.
from the MRI, but then also the, I mean, the energy, the what's going on in my brain when I hear things
Hmm.
speak and all that. So that's all in the computer.
Hmm.
And then I'm assuming, because listen, I have a smartwatch. I've been looking at those rings. They measure just about everything
It's
now.
crazy. Yeah.
And I try to stay away from it because I actually don't want that information because I already know it's bad.
Why?
My
Oh, I
my
see.
lifestyle choices. I don't need this thing to tell me, but
You don't need a watch evaluating your
I,
life
I
choice. Yeah.
don't.
Okay.
I don't. We already talked about me and my fear of being judged by everything. I know how bad it is, but so I mean, and you might not know this, but I'm interested because for me, I'm thinking about this digital twin that's been created on this computer, and can it get updated information like when my heart rate or whatever a monitor might take in, can that be fed into that twin?
Yes. Yes. And I think that's one of the points of trying to do this, because they want your digital twin to be as much like you as it can possibly be. So they want it to be continually updated, and they collect a tremendous amount of data about you and information about you, and to create this digital twin so that they know, yeah, they have to know everything you're doing at all times. And yeah.
Because I'm thinking about the ethical implications of this. Maybe I'm going too far, but like it has all my information.
Hmm.
I'm already talking about Skynet here, but like the computer, like all the things that AI can do right now.
Hmm.
And then when you start to mash this together, this computer has all of my information that I've given it. It now has a digital map. It has my
Hmm.
brain digitally, and you're saying, and I believe that there's a way to continually kind of update that. Is there a point where my digital twin outpaces me?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest fears of this idea, because the idea behind it is really cool and really great. Because let's say you have to have brain surgery for some reason, you have an aneurysm or something like that, they can practice on your digital twin. And if they screw up, they can practice again and practice again. Because remember, I told you that brain surgeries back in the mid 1900s, they would keep the person awake and they would crack your skull open. You'd be behind a sheet, so you couldn't, but you
Mhm.
felt people poking around in your head. And they would ask you different things. They had a little electrical device that they would kind of touch different parts of your brain and have you like counting like backwards, like 10, 9, 8. And when they would hit they would be poking around when they hit the language center, you go 10, 9, 8, and you couldn't say anything else. And they go, oh, let's not cut through that area because that's where they talk. So
Yes, please.
everybody's is different. So you have to kind of try that out with each person. Well, this digital brain allows you to figure out those types of things before they do the surgery on you. And if there's some type of error, and it can predict if you cut an area, the digital twin won't be able to talk, the lose speech or whatever. And you can say, okay, we've got to avoid this area. So you can just think there's so many benefits to that in healthcare. But then you think about what that means, because now it's collecting just massive amounts of personal data of, like I said, where you go, your sleep patterns, your heart rate, what you eat. And now, as it collects that information about you, it can create inferences about you. So it can predict things that are going to happen. It can predict if you're developing a disease. Now imagine if it
Mhm.
says, hey, you might be, you're in danger of developing heart disease, which can lead to and now your insurance company gets a hold of that and your rates skyrocket. And you're like, wait, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Some insurance companies have the little device you put on your car, and they
Hmm.
say if you're a
State
really good
driver.
driver, yeah, it'll
Yeah.
it'll lower your
Yeah.
rates. And everybody I've talked to that's done that, their rates have gone up.
Yeah.
And like my sister-in-law, her son worked like weird hours, and when he came home, he wanted to go to Taco Bell, and she drove him to Taco Bell. Came back and it was like 11:30 at night, and that dinged her because you shouldn't be out after 10 at night. And it's like, but work schedules won't allow. So I mean, it's just things like that. It just gets involved in every part of your life,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden insurance rates go up. People start, it can disclose health information that you hadn't told anybody about, that you have or you might not have known about. It brings up, biasing issues, especially if minorities are using it, because then it can give misleading or discriminatory results. And then how do you fight that? Because even if they're inaccurate, which these can still be inaccurate, I think I was reading about this not long ago. I think the accuracy rates in the Stanford study, which are far above they've really honed in on developing the algorithms and machine learning and all around this, but they're at 75 to 85% accurate, which is great,
Sure.
unless that 20% wrong is something that puts you in a bad light, or
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a lot of concerns
Have
around.
Have you ever seen the movie Minority Report?
Mm, oh, is that Tom Cruise?
It's Tom Cruise.
Yes, it's been a while though.
Okay, but in the future, they spare you the details. That part doesn't matter, but get to the cut to the core here is that they have a way to predict murder
Mm,
before it happens.
that's right. I remember
And
that.
and so what you're saying here is like, okay, we can stop all murders because we're predicting that someone is going to do something violent based on all these factors. And
Hmm.
then we just grab them and put a halo. They put this thing on them and they're just catatonic in a prison for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
But the question is, if it's 85% accurate, and I'm not saying in the movie they said that, I'm just saying
Mhm.
we're talking about a model of prediction, and we're wrong 25% of the time. I don't want to be the guy
No, no,
who I
no.
wasn't ever going to kill anybody, but I got a halo on in jail because they were wrong
Yeah.
20% of the time or 25% of the
Even
time.
if it's 98% accurate, that's not good enough for
No,
me.
I don't want to
So,
be, I don't want to be the one,
no,
that I
exactly.
wasn't going to actually kill anybody, but I'm in prison, So, but going back to this, I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, so let me take it out of humans for a second. I read this thing about digital twins about cities,
Hmm.
and they were able to scan these cities, use this technology, and it was for evacuation routes. I don't remember. I don't think it was fire. But anyway, they were able to this computer just through AI could run millions of simulations and go, if this event happens, here's how to evacuate this city based on your location. And
Hmm.
they used this again, this digital twin of a city to do it. That's great. And what you're saying about how you can use it, I can have a digital twin created of me,
Hmm.
and they can practice brain surgery. They can do all of these things
Hmm.
based on that. But then the downside again is all the things you just mentioned are freaking me out. Like information goes to my insurance company. That information goes to a medical study I didn't sign up for.
Hmm.
That I don't know. I already brought up a movie, but my Safeway account is
Hmm.
if I put my phone number into the Safeway at the check stand, I get 10 cents off my gas.
Hmm.
So great. But I'm turning over all of my shopping data to somebody,
Yeah. So now it's
frequency and
saying you swipe your card to check out, and it asks you, do you want some do you want some Intamin donuts? Do you want, the things that you like? And you're going,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So all of that. And then who owns the digital Sean? Do you own digital
Do I own it?
Sean?
Do I
Does
own Digital
what if
Sean?
does Stanford own it? If you go to Stanford, is that Stanford's now? Is that yours? Can you just delete it if you want? Or even better yet, could you sell it? Could you sell it to a marketing firm and make money yourself? Or would Stanford sell it to make money? I don't know why I'm getting Stanford in trouble. I know they don't do that, but
Sorry,
I'm just saying,
Stanford. It's just
yeah,
Stanford is doing the best, or like
they're
they're doing
doing
a lot of research with digital twins.
I think that recently they just had over 1,000 people
Yeah,
sign up, and that's where they got the 80 to 85% accuracy in creating what,
yeah.
and these are like decisions people make. They can predict it, and they're almost always right based on these digital selves. But
So
but
I'm
do they
waiting.
own it? Like,
That's the so another about ownership though, because I think that my digital twin that I created at Stanford, and then plugged in with AI, that can learn. Can't it learn?
yes,
Because you're saying it can predict. So if it can learn, then is that knowledge mined or
good
this?
question.
This is
Those are
nuts.
good questions, and from what I understand, there's no clear legal answer. As technology advances, this always happens. Technology advances out in front of us, and things start to happen. Questions come up before the law can kind of figure out what it should be doing with that technology. So I think this is one of those areas where technology is advancing faster than we can think through how do we protect these types of things, because that has to be thought through.
Yeah.
There's huge ethical concerns with this. There's huge benefits with this, but there's also ethical concerns with it.
Yeah. How do you think, I'm asking an opinion, boy, it's dangerous with John, but how do you think then my brain,
Mhm.
this thing that's floating up in liquid between my ears, not the digital brain, but how would my brain react to my digital brain? Do you know what I
Like,
mean?
would it be
Like,
jealous, you mean? Or
I don't know. It's my brain. It's probably jealous, but I just mean we've talked about this a little bit. Our brain knows, when we're talking about training
mm-hmm.
and we put people into scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your brain knows it's a simulation, no matter what we
Oh
try
yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
to
I
to
see
make
what
it
you're saying.
real.
Mm-hmm.
But my brain always knows. But then
Mm-hmm.
now, like I'm sitting here and I'm looking at a computer screen of my own brain and the wiring and what it's doing and it's predicting. I'm just curious. I don't know if you have an opinion or what you think about how would my brain respond to a simulation of itself?
Well, so
Wait, is that meta?
you're asking, that
Uh-huh.
is meta,
Oh, okay.
but you're asking me for my opinion, which I will happily
It's just
give.
your opinion.
This is an opinion, but I said one time a long time ago. I don't remember the context, but I said that we're really kind of egotistical because
Mhm.
we're always saying, "Look how amazing the brain is, and look how detailed and everything the brain can do. Isn't that amazing?" And I said, it's kind of like you're bragging on the brain is bragging on itself when it says that. So it's this self ego that the brain has. So I think seeing your brain, that would probably make, seeing a digital brain would make your real brain feel pretty good. It'd feel like that was a pretty cool thing to do, as long as you're not aware of the harm that's going to come from it. Like, just seeing
Mhm.
it's like, that's awesome. That's me. That's my brain. I think I would like that, seeing that. But
See, okay, because I thought that too, but I try not
mhm.
to measure it by me because I'm a lunatic. But
Well, you shouldn't measure it by me either. But the other part of it is, if you're talking about, because they'll create simulations where they have your digital brain do things, they'll
Mhm.
have you do it too. And then if there's a difference, they use that information to update your digital twin to say, actually, this is what Sean did in that situation. So it'll
Oh,
predict, but then it can be corrected. And that's more learning. So it's learning more to get better and better at it. And so it just continues to get more and more. The more it's connected to you and receiving input from you, the more accurate it gets in its ability to predict things.
right.
And so if they're running a simulation and your brain sees the simulation as not quite real, because you were talking about law enforcement simulations and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Your brain, your real brain, the gooey part between your ears, is really good at detecting what's real and what isn't. So it has like a realness detector.
Mm-hmm.
And if something is a little bit off, your brain does not like that. And so you know how in movies now, like even animated movies, they'll have people with suits with little buttons on them all over, like they'll be in a green screen suit with little
Oh,
buttons, so
yeah. Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
see what their actual movements are, and they'll put those into animations to make them move more like a person would really move. If they're off, if that animation's weird in some way, our brain doesn't really like that.
Hmm.
If they're off a lot, our brain's okay with that, because then it knows there's no question about it. It's almost more like expectation. Like if it's almost real, then I expect it to be real, and I don't like it when it's not. If it's not even close to being real, then I'm okay with that, because I know it's just a simulation and it's not real, if that
Oh,
makes sense.
that makes
So
sense, but that's interesting.
as your brain's watching these simulations, you're gonna, if it's almost right, you're not, but it's not, you're not gonna like that. But
Yeah.
if, yeah, so I guess like a cartoon people like, or a real movie people like an animated cartoon movie or a real one. But if there's something in between where they're kind of mixed and it's not that good, it looks like real people, but they move like cartoons, that's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that movie.
Oh, so hang on. Okay. So that part that going back, um, I wish we could pick a fake school. I keep saying Stanford, but I'm back at Stanford.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
And they've created we're going back through the whole thing. They've created my digital twin there. But then part of this you're saying, because I didn't know this part, is they'll give me a scenario. They'll give me something to do. And Sean, not Sean's digital twin, but this is getting
Sean
real.
One.
So this is getting real confusing. But then I do whatever I'm going to do, but then they have the digital twin do it as well, just to see how well. And over time, I can imagine if you keep doing that,
Mm-hmm.
then it's got to get better at becoming me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the more that if we just continually run, Sean, do this, digital Sean, do this, just over and over and over again. Another opinion. I'm
Mm-hmm.
asking a lot of your opinions today, but um, I mean, at what point does this thing to become? I don't want to say sentient. I already made this guy that joke, but could it ever have a conscious, or could it be
Could it be conscious of what it's doing?
where's the line? How do we separate this?
The hardest part about that question is defining what consciousness is.
We've been over this too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because
because
it's so hard to define. Almost any way you define it, you can fit things into it, like one side or the other of it.
yeah,
So it's really hard to define. But um, that this twin, the digital twin, will say and respond and make decisions and say, generate its own
the way
text
that I
and
would.
the way, yeah.
I mean, if we did this long enough, if we gave it enough information, I mean, at what point does it become creepy? At what point is it like you can talk to real Sean or you can talk to digital Sean? You're going to get the exact same stuff.
Yeah, so then that's where I think it could hurt your feelings if everybody keeps saying, no, just give me digital Sean.
Just give me digital Sean. I don't want to deal with real Sean. It's not going to hurt me. I'm used to it. Believe me.
Yeah.
But,
Well, like how well could your wife guess what you're going to do or how you're going to act in a certain situation?
she'd be pretty good at it, at
Yeah, because
predicting
so being
what I'm going to do.
around somebody and seeing how they responded. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of the same way with a digital. It learns it maybe much quicker, just
Yeah.
because it's honed in on certain things that it's processed. It's the digital brain is processing information very similarly to how your real brain is processing it.
Oh, I thought it
And
would be faster. I mean, even at 11 million bits per second, I guess that is faster than the fastest computer right now, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that actually,
I wonder
but
what the
I guess what I
fastest
was meaning
computer
was,
would be.
I mean, they run right now when they're doing brain simulations, they have multiple computers running at the same time, working in parallel like our brain does.
Okay.
So it's not having to figure out a problem step by step. All of them are doing their own steps. And so it speeds everything up because
Yeah.
of that. But I guess my point was it's built a digital brain that has the same parts that yours has in the same amounts, the same volume, and the same connections. So it can learn your responses faster than your wife, who processes things through her brain and has to then interpret and guess, because her brain processes things differently than you to start with. And now she's taken it, processing hers, and then trying to retrofit in what would Sean do in this, where this digital brain is processing it like you would process it. So that's what I'm saying. It learns quicker because your wife doesn't, her brain doesn't change its processing to match your brain.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but the digital twin would.
I'm going to make bracelets. You know how there's those bracelets, WW, what would such and such do? Whoever. I'm going to make, what would digital Sean do?
WWS2D. What would Sean 2 do?
What would digital Sean do? But
That's
so
just the
we're
DSD.
talking a lot about the brain. We talked a little bit about the cities, but also I think if I'm remembering right, but they can do digital twins of other organs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yes.
obviously, if they could do the brain, they can make my liver.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about life choices. So if they made a digital twin of my liver, then that, or whatever organ,
Mm-hmm.
my heart or whatever,
Yep.
and then they could practice operations or stuff on a digital organ too,
Yes.
right?
So yes, digital twins can be uh, things, products, companies, people, body parts, like you're saying. Like the one of the best examples for me that made the most sense to me right off when I was first reading about the digital twin was, I told you that Casey and I went on a trip this last weekend out of state.
Mm-hmm.
We had to go out of state, and Google Maps is a digital twin because it shows the countryside, it shows cities, it shows traffic patterns, and it's updated instantaneously. We were coming over a hill and could see down in the distance that all of a sudden car lights started coming on ahead of us, and on my map that showed the blue line, I think it was blue, it went to yellow for a chunk, and I could see down to where it went to yellow, and then it started portions of it turning red as we were getting closer, meaning traffic is stopping here, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like happening in real time. And
So some of that is user data, right? Because, and I'm only saying that because I use Google Maps.
mm-hmm,
And it's funny that you say that again, so many times in this podcast, but that just peeled my wig back. You're absolutely, Google Maps is a digital twin of the world.
mm-hmm,
Uh, but then when I'm using Google Maps, I'll get a little message that says like, slow down, still here or something. And I hit yes or no. Do you know what I mean? And so if enough of us are all on our, have a phone with Google Maps open, and enough of us answer that question the same way,
mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the only input for Google Maps, but that's using real time data from people who are on that road to then update the app.
Yeah, and
Uh,
so you hit like construction here or police officer
yeah.
there or whatever, but it's also using your phone, seeing that it's traveling at a certain speed, and then your phone slows down. It knows where it is. So
Oh
it's gathering
yeah.
that type of information too from people who are using their phone. Like if I'm
Using the GPS on your phone.
connected to Google Maps on my phone, it knows my speed, and then when it slows
Yeah.
down, then when it takes off again. And so it's estimating those types of things too. So it's crowdsourced information where you're adding stuff, but it's
Uh huh.
also like the just information that is data that's gathering from you and your phone.
Because in order to use Google Maps, you have to allow um, location access. It says it on there,
Yeah.
allow access. And so here we're back to this. I'm giving Google my GPS information to include vehicle speed.
Yep.
Now, listen, I don't know. I don't know what negative they could do with that information, but
I
we're
think that
allowing that.
yeah, but I think it's only allowed if the app is open and running. You can set it different. You can set
Yeah,
different permissions.
there's different permissions. Yeah, only when using this app, all the time, never. If you hit never, they just don't let you use the app.
Yeah.
But
Most don't, yeah.
I try to usually hit only when using the app. But
Yeah, I do
still,
too.
I mean, the app's open. It's sitting in the holder, and taking all my data.
Yeah. Google says it's anonymized, but so they don't know whose is whose. And that's probably true, but it,
Okay.
wouldn't be hard for somebody to say that and still collect your data. And I know there's people are concerned too about license plate readers and things like
Yes.
that. We're
Yeah.
tracking cars, how often they travel a road and stuff, and then trying to infer potential nefarious intentions, illegal
Right.
activity. So yeah, there's so much data is already being collected, but not like it is like in the UK or some other countries where there's cameras everywhere as well.
Like facial
Facial
recognition and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's even. But again, and I'm not making fun of anybody. Listen, we're like all trying to figure this out. You already said we've seen this throughout the ages. Technology gets ahead of us, and then we try to catch up to it. But the same people who are worried about license plate readers put their phone number in at Safeway, right? Like, I mean, it's and again, I'm not making fun of anybody. It's just like you're worried about them knowing where your car is, but you use Google Maps.
Yeah.
They know where your car is. And not only that, they know how fast you're going, and they know how many miles you've been, and they know what addresses you've been to. Oh my goodness. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I put all of that into my Google Maps.
Yeah.
And it may be anonymous, but
to.
yeah. And it says you have arrived. So Google knows where I'm going and where I've been.
Yeah. And I think most people are okay with data being collected as long as it doesn't hurt them, which, I mean, that would always be your answer, but you just don't know when it's going to come back to bite you, or you've given up too much or whatever. So, yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. Like, again, I'm a lot of this is me just being me. I joke about stuff all the time, but I'm not going anywhere I shouldn't be going. So Google, my wife, the government, I don't know anybody. Nobody cares that I'm going to the gym to do jujitsu. Like, I'm going to Safeway. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. But to your point, at some point, I might do a pivot and be like, okay, I care now, because again, like, Google sends my information to my insurance company and says this is how fast he drives on the interstate. I don't love that. I'm trying to think of other examples from what you've said, where some of this data could be used with nefarious intent. But
giving up that kind of that your data, your I don't want to say freedoms, but when you give up your information to people and they use it against you, it's kind of at that point you're like, oh shoot, that wasn't smart, but it's hard to do anything about it once you've already given it up.
But I brought up fitness trackers of all kind. I don't know. I don't use a fitness tracker, but I wonder where that data, because it's on my phone.
So I started using it and looking at Fitbit stuff, and I never bought the little Fitbit bracelet thing, but it's on my watch now. You cannot believe everything that tracks. So it's on my watch and my phone, but it tracks and I just gave a blanket permission for it to collect information, and now it gives readouts. It'll tell me how long I slept at night, how much of that time was in stage 1, stage 2, REM,
Like
stage 4, how much deep
quality of
sleep
sleep. Yeah.
how much deep sleep
Yeah.
did I get? It'll give me a readiness score each morning. It'll give me a readiness score throughout the day based on sleep, heart rate, exercise, food intake. It's crazy. It has so many numbers for so many different things. And part of me is like, I don't want to know all this, so I definitely don't want
That's what
them
I'm
to know
telling
all
you.
of this. But it's also really interesting to track and follow. And
How
yeah.
does it measure food intake?
Okay, so I also have an app where I'm trying to track certain things, and
Oh,
they
those work together.
work
And
together. Yeah.
really?
Hmm.
So, okay, this is interesting because I'm not using any of this, but if you have an app that you input what you're eating, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then when that connects with your Fitbit or pick your
Hmm.
fitness tracker of any kind, they share that information.
Yeah, and it calculates, the one app doesn't, but it calculates calories and then looks at how many steps I've taken, how
Mm-hmm.
many,
Mm-hmm.
upstairs, knows if I'm going upstairs or not because it's measuring elevation. So am I walking
Okay.
upstairs or down? And plus your gait is a little bit different. It tracks so much stuff. So it calculates so many things about how many calories you burned, yeah, the numbers are just crazy. I'm going, it can't know all of that, but it does. I mean, it gathers enough information from different sources to just calculate all of that out. And I think it's really accurate. It estimates, like, if you stay on this track, what your weight will be a day from now, 5 days from now. And yeah, it's
So
accurate on
we're
all
back
of this
back
stuff.
to predictive models.
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
predictive.
it's taking all that information and saying, if you do it for the next 6 weeks, this is how much you'll weigh.
But that's where everything's going. That's where the value and the money is. Because if all it does is tracks, it's just a really fancy spreadsheet or notebook.
Yeah.
But if it can
Yeah.
predict, that's when you're going, oh wow, now I'm looking into the future about what's going to happen, and that's what gives it value. If you can look into the future, there's where the
That's what I
value
was.
is.
It's funny you say that because I was sitting here thinking, are we just talking about a fancy spreadsheet with better PR? Is that all this is? But your
No.
point is valid. It makes complete sense to me. The monetary value or the value in this is the predictive model. We're back to this idea
Yeah.
of like, if you do this for this long, this will happen.
Hmm. And my watch, another app, and these are all apps that just came with it.
Mm-hmm.
Another app will tell me, and it's not the Fitbit. I don't know what it is. The Google Android. I have an Android, but it will
It's Samsung.
say,
It's probably Samsung Health. At least that's I
well,
have an Android and it came with this app,
mhm,
Samsung Health. And
yes.
I don't use it to its full abilities, but I looked at it a little bit and I was like, whoa,
Yeah, it's a
whoa.
really advanced one as well, kind of like Fitbit. And I don't know which one's more advanced. Maybe it's more advanced, but I switched over a few months ago from Samsung to Google to the
Oh,
Pixel.
oh, okay.
So I have a Google Pixel now, and it's version of Samsung Health, and it's not quite as detailed,
Hmm.
but it will tell me. I'll be sitting here because I'll sit for a while, and my watch will buzz, and I'll look
Oh,
down,
I don't
and
like that.
it'll
Time to get
say,
out.
you need to walk. Yeah, you've been sitting too long. You need to
Time to
stretch.
get moving.
And actually, when I had the Samsung, it would say, stand up and make circles with your arms 10 times, and it would count down my 10 times, and it would say, great, you can sit back down now.
Oh, based on because it's on your arm. So
It's on
based
my
on
arm. Hmm.
the movement.
Hmm. I never
I
tried to trick it and just move one arm. I just followed the rules. But
not stand up, just do this.
yeah.
Just move your arm around. Uh, but so I had that function on my watch for a while and it just bugged me. I'm like, don't tell me to get up and I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Leave me alone.
I
Leave
don't
me
like
alone.
to be told what to do.
I don't like to be told what to do.
I understand that I just sometimes don't know what I should be doing. Somebody needs to tell me what to do. So I just go, yeah, okay, thank you. I do need to do this. So I have a different attitude about it because I
Okay.
know that I need help.
Okay. Uh, I mean, this is a very interesting conversation to me, but I might have strayed us too far from digital twins.
No, I
Um,
don't think so. I don't think so because so let's talk about that. I think that the Fitbit
mhm.
is a rudimentary digital twin because it takes your heart rate, your respiratory rate, it even does heart rate variability, sleep schedule, all of these things, and then it starts to learn your patterns, and that's when it can tell you what a readiness score is and those types of things because it's creating this digital twin of this small subset of activities that you do or of measurements that you have like heart rate and things like that. So it's not a full digital twin as far as like you as a person or
Right.
your brain, but it's related to habits and it learns all of those. It learns all of those. And mine kind of lowered the bar, so to speak. It realized that I don't walk that much, so it changed my goals without me even telling it to. It set more realistic goals for me because so it kind of learned
Really?
what my activity pattern is, and then it set goals for me based on that. And it's probably, I haven't tried it, but if I would meet its goals, it would probably slowly try to raise them to gradually get me where I should be to be healthy. So, but that's a form of a digital cell, of a
What you're
digital twin.
describing right now. So I do this sometimes is I get a thing set in my head where in my head, I see like a brain on a
Mm.
computer screen and all that. And that's a digital twin and then creating Sean. But really it's like we're giving it enough data, whatever the data is,
Mm-hmm.
and it's able to take that data and make predictions and use all of that information to say, again, back to when you should stand up.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is the watch has been in this position for 10 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever. And so the watch has decided you need to stand up.
You need to stand up. The I think that one of the first uses of a digital twin, I think. So I read this, but I didn't do the research to know if this is true or not. It was kind of mentioned in passing, but you'll remember the movie because you're a good movie buff and I'm not. But it had Ed Harris in it, which
Mhm. I know
a
Ed
little
Harris.
family trivia. That's Casey's favorite actor, or was. I guess it still is. I haven't asked her lately, but she
Okay.
loves Ed Harris. So he was an astronaut from like the 1960s, and it was an Apollo thing. I don't know what the
Mhm.
movie was.
The right stuff. I
The right
think.
stuff, was that
Pretty
it?
sure.
But it's where the
Scott
Apollo.
Glenn and yeah, it's the right stuff.
Okay, and it was going around the moon, and something happened, and they didn't think they were going to be able to come back to Earth. They thought they were going to die up there, and they were cold, and NASA just got their engineers, different people, went into a room, and the guy had a box and dumped it on the table and said, "This is what they have in their
Hmm.
spacecraft, and we've got to figure out with this how to get them back." So that was kind of maybe the first digital twin. It wasn't digital, I guess, but the
Right.
first
But
twin because they used what was there. They brought it to another location, said, "Here's what they have, and let's figure out how to solve this problem." And they could try different things because if they tried that on the spaceship and it didn't work, they just wasted whatever
yeah,
resources they had. They couldn't reuse it. So they said, "Let us try and fail until we find the right method." So that might have been like the first idea of a digital
yeah. So
twin,
not a digital twin, but I mean, that's
but a twin.
a twin. I forgot about that scene, but it in the right stuff. Where he's playing John Glenn, um, and
Okay.
but putting it on I'm trying to think of what kind of twin you would call that, where it's in front of us. But
Well,
either way,
and you were asking what the different types of digital twins,
mhm.
and a process is another one that I didn't mention, but that would be a process. And so uh, what do you call shipping in like an organization, like a manufacturing? They have their shipping department, but it's the logistics of
I was going to say logistics,
yeah.
but
So logistics would be that's a process, and so you can have a digital twin of the logistics. I guess like you were saying, like the evacuation routes, that would
mhm.
be a process.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
those are digital twins of processes.
Yeah, but they were taking, and that's a process because
That's a
they were taking
process, but it
like
wasn't digital. It was
an event
analog.
breaks out in the northwest part of town,
Hmm.
and Sean lives on Elm Street. And then they just take and go, he goes this direction, that direction, but they do all of this like in
Yeah.
seconds, but just every possible direction I could take to get out of town.
Hmm.
And they do it, like I said, in seconds, and they go, okay, there's the route.
And
So
I don't know how they do this, but do they ever use census data to see how many people are in each home and how many cars? And I wonder if
that,
they do that.
that would be interesting. How many cars do they have? How many people do they have?
Because that would be information that's
Mhm.
fed into it. Yeah.
They're going to need to take 2 cars, or they're going to need to, yeah. I mean, it's really coming down to, for the idea of a twin, digital or otherwise, is like I think it's like everything. The more information we have,
Mm-hmm.
the more simulations we run with that information, the better we're going to get at this.
Yes. Yep.
And I love that you brought up the right stuff, because that really helped me, because I can see that part in the movie. But we just dump out what they have access to, and then we do it. It's not a computer doing it, but imagine now you just open up Chat GPT and go, here's the items I have, and I want to create this thing. How do I do it? And Chat just comes back and go, okay, put the pen and the rubber band and do this. And it's like, okay, done.
Is this my brain filling in the gaps or not? But it seems like they had even a piece of gum. They said, "Do you have a piece of gum you can chew?" or something like that. I don't know. Maybe my brain's filling in the
No,
gaps.
I'm trying to remember this. I mean, I remember the scene in general, but I don't remember the specifics.
Yeah.
But again, that is a rudimentary form. That was the point I was making of what we're talking about, where they take the scan of my brain and then we just run a million simulations with it. And at midnight, I'm going to be craving hot tamales, and the process I'm going to go through. So,
and then Google has already planned your route and knows you'll say you've arrived at the
Safeway
tamale shop at Safeway
right
to get some tamales. You're talking about the candy hot tamales?
Hot tamales, yeah, the candy.
Yeah, okay.
But what's worse is that then this predictive model, my Alexa in the kitchen is just going to come on and say, Sean, would you like me to order hot tamales? It'll be here, between 4 and 8.
Yeah.
And that's where
should I order that? And it'll have it already ready. And
yeah,
pull it
just
up.
you want me to order this for you?
Do you want me to do this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. You're right. I am going to want hot tamales. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, that was a joke. Joking aside, like we just bought a new dishwasher, and the dishwasher is connected to our Alexa. And all I had to do the first time was put in how many dishwasher tablets I have on hand. Mm-hmm. And then now, because it's connected to Alexa, every cycle of that dishwasher, she's keeping track. Mm-hmm. And then when I get down to, I have 10 tablets left, and I've done this enough times now, she'll come on and say, would you like to reorder dishwasher tablets? And I go, the first time I went, there's no way. I look in the box, there are 10 tablets left. And so I'm like, yes, order those tablets. And then the more I do it now, I don't have to look anymore. I know when she says, you want to order tablets, there are 10 left in that box without fail.
So you don't want to be told to stand up and move your arms, but you don't mind being told it's time to order tablets. Yeah, I get it.
Apparently not. But the difference is she doesn't tell me to order tablets.
Yeah.
She asks very nicely, would you like me to order tablets?
And that's very helpful. So yeah, she's trying to help you out. That's true.
Well, it just makes me feel like I'm in control, you know? Even if it's a fallacy, I go, order tablets. And I'm in control.
When they tell you to stand up and move, it's like, what, you think I'm fat and out of shape? So it's almost like an affront to be told that. So,
what are you saying? Hey, watch, what are you saying about me?
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Tell me more.
Okay.
How do you really feel?
So now I want to this is we're going to try this. And I don't know how you're going to feel about it. I can't predict your behavior because I don't have John's digital twin. But I have 4 questions. This is our lightning round, so you just have to answer the best you can as quickly as you can. You ready?
Okay. Oh boy.
Here we go. First one, digital twin. Helpful coworker or overachieving sibling?
Helpful coworker.
Oh, that was fast. Okay. Can you give me one thing digital twins do great?
Predict your behaviors.
One thing they'll absolutely mess up.
Predicting your behaviors.
I was hoping that was going to be your answer. That's a great answer. Okay, digital twins, last one. Is it more Minority Report or more The Sims?
The Sims.
Oh.
I have no idea what The Sims is. I'm assuming it's a movie. I just said
no,
it because you said answer really quick.
Okay, that's the point of the lightning round.
Yeah.
I brought up Minority Report, the movie. The Sims is a video game, but it's actually short for the simulations. And in The Sims, you don't know about The Sims?
I don't know about it.
Oh, no. Listen, John. Okay, we got to end the episode with this because this is going to peel your wig back.
Okay.
The Sims, and even early on, like the 90s, this is a computer game that you create your own world in here. You build houses.
Minecraft?
It's not Minecraft.
Okay.
The Sims is you actually build, because Minecraft is like you build these like boxy kind of weird. You actually build house. I mean, you don't actually build houses.
Well,
but
so you earn points that can buy you.
You can buy houses, you can buy cars, and then you can buy furniture. You meet people in there. You develop friendships. Like there are people, and boy, if anyone is listening, I'm not trying to insult you or make fun of you, but there are documented cases of people who don't go outside. They live their life through the Sims.
Player One.
It's like Player. That's a great movie. Great pull.
Yeah, thanks.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
But the Sims, like you sleep, you have to eat, but it's through a keyboard. You're like, you go to the kitchen, eat food. It is living in a simulation.
Can you die in the sim?
Ooh,
like the Oregon Trail Simulator.
Oh, you've died of dysentery?
Yeah.
That's how I always died. Hang on, can you die? I have to look this up because I never played The Sims. It's in the cultural kind of lore for me, like I know about the game.
But from what you're telling me about the game, I think that was the right answer.
It was the right answer.
Over Minority Report, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, you can die in the Sims game. In the Sims 4, there's been more iterations. You can die of old age, emotional death. Sims can die from emotional overload, such as being too angry or embarrassed. Literally die of embarrassment. Physical death. Sims can drown, be electrocuted, or die from other accidents. And now we're getting to a weird game thing. Specific pack death. Death by poison or drown. Okay. John, you should look at The Sims just as a researcher. That game and the people who played that game when it was big, because it's still around. People still kind of play it, but it was fascinating what it did to people.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
But they kind of built a rudimentary version. This is a digital twin, but it doesn't have all of the information because it's only what you build it. So it's almost like the scene in The Right Stuff, digitally. It's very rudimentary.
Yeah.
But The Sims might be the first real digital twin.
That might be, an actual digital
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, the more information it collects, the better it would do. So now you just have to get your Fitbit connected to The Sims and give it that information and see what happens.
I don't like any part of any of this.
And Alexa, connect Alexa.
Oh, you know, I talk about all this stuff, but boy, she does just about everything in this house.
Yeah.
There are work timers. There are just ordering stuff. There is like, I use her to turn the TV on. That's how lazy I am.
How does she keep track of everything? That's crazy.
That's how good the AI is. She's just on it. This morning, you know, I just say, Alexa, turn on Supernatural on Netflix on Fire TV. Boom, I'm watching TV. I'm watching my
Wow.
show on TV.
Wow.
So,
That's
uh,
cool.
so as much as I joke about it on this podcast, you know, I'm just as married to all of this stuff as everybody else is.
What's your trust level with Alexa?
I mean, I just don't even think about it, to be honest.
So you
Like,
just full trust,
it's
really.
just
Like
full trust.
if I tell Alexa to remind me about a meeting coming up or something, I don't think about it anymore because I know she'll remind me.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
It's going to happen. Yeah. And that's the level of trust that I have. Is I set a timer, I set an alarm, I do any of that. It's like we have one in the bedroom, and I just say, Alexa, set an alarm for 6 a.m. and I go to sleep knowing at 6 a.m. that thing's gonna go off, you know. So that's an interesting question you asked about trust, because I didn't think about it, but when I set an alarm with her or I asked her to do something, it's gone because I know it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. When Alexa was first coming out, that was a hurdle that the company had to jump. People wouldn't trust Alexa if they couldn't see Alexa doing something. So.
Yeah.
But I think most people trust Alexa now. I mean, it's been around so long, you realize if you say set an alarm for 6, Alexa doesn't forget or screw things up like we do as humans. Alexa just sets it.
Yeah, Alexa doesn't say, okay, after I do these other 2 things, I'll get to it, right? Like I would do, and then I would forget to set the alarm.
Oh, yeah, I'll set the alarm for you. Yeah, don't worry about
Nope,
it.
I got it. I'm on it. And then we sleep through it and go, oh, I never set that alarm.
I forgot to set the alarm. I forgot to stand up. My watch told me, stand up.
Stop telling me what to do. Well, John, thanks. Number one, thanks for doing the lightning round. I thought that was really interesting. But just all of this was a fun conversation, and I still managed to learn a bunch of stuff. So it's a win-win.
Good. I learned too. Yeah.
Good. So anybody listening, I plugged our socials. We're still on them. John Brain_dude on TikTok, all of our socials. But if you noticed, in this episode, we were playing with a little bit of a different format here, and it's just our first one. I want to get a couple under my belt, but I enjoyed it. But I'm really interested in your thoughts. So if you either leave a comment on the show where you listen to it, or hit us up on any of our socials and just let me know. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you ambivalent? Do you love us so much it doesn't matter how we present this? Whatever it might be. Just I'm really interested in, if you have the time and the wherewithal, drop us a note. Let us know what you think. And again, John, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was really entertaining and fun. So
yeah, I enjoyed that. Yep.
Good. Then we're going to do it again next week.
Okay.
And everybody else, until next week, take care of yourself, and we'll see you then.
Jon.